Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Aftab Iqbal to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Aftab Iqbal's words. Welcome to the live transmission. I am your host, Aftab Iqbal. Today's episode is the third part in the ongoing Iran versus Israel series. Alongside this, we'll also have a short discussion regarding PTI's protest rally. If we consider the Iran versus Israel situation, then similarly, the PTI versus General Asim Munir issue is another ongoing saga. First, we'll briefly talk about that, then come back to it later. We are in contact with both sides, the Middle East and Washington, D.C., and we will surely share with you anything significant and worth mentioning. Just a few moments ago, our friend Dr. Shahbaz Gill was delivering a speech there. Honestly, the turnout was better than my expectations. The protest was peaceful and well organized. If people want to gather and express solidarity with someone, there's nothing wrong in that. No violent demonstrations took place, no dangerous rhetoric was used that could cause any backlash. So if the gathering is peaceful and meant to express unity with Imran Khan or Pakistan, then it's a positive effort. Although I won't call it a massive crowd, it's a decent start. It could be much bigger, especially considering the large Pakistani diaspora across the United States. I believe over 90% of that diaspora not only supports Imran Khan, but also holds genuine affection and reverence for him. If there are any technical glitches during this live show, I apologize in advance. Ever since we've started live broadcasting, I've been checking with PCR. Everything is going smoothly, no issues so far, that's very good. Again, congratulations to the friends in Washington, D.C. who organized the event, and to all the Pakistanis from different places who showed their love and support. I'll say this again, next time such a call for gathering happens, more people should attend. If there are 10 people in a household, leave 1 or 2 behind and bring the rest. It's not a big deal. Coming and going to D.C. isn't some huge hassle. In fact, it could even be considered an educational trip. Now, some friends ask whether this protest made any impact. Of course it did. When Pakistanis gathered there to show solidarity and support, it's not to defeat General Asim Munir, but the gesture has symbolic value, and that is in itself an achievement. The protest remained peaceful as far as I monitored it. However, it's worth mentioning that today it wasn't just PTI's protest on the streets of Washington, D.C. across the United States. Protests are also taking place against Donald Trump's policies, protests involving not just immigrants or the economy, but broader concerns. In some ways, those anti-Trump protests have overshadowed PTI's demonstration. Still, PTI achieved its goal. The diaspora didn't show apathy, which is often a concern. In fact, the turnout exceeded expectations. That's a very good sign. Now turning back to Iran. The Iran versus Israel situation is, well, growing more serious. The confrontation that Iran started yesterday has not subsided. Today, Israel responded, but honestly, the retaliation was minor in comparison to Iran's initial strike. As I mentioned yesterday, Haifa, Israel's port city, was likely to be the next target. Haifa supplies about 60% of the country's oil. Industry, transportation, and even defense rely on it. The refinery that processes crude oil was badly damaged in a missile barrage. Some buildings were reportedly completely destroyed. While the official death toll is said to be between 3 and 5, there's a total media blackout on the actual impact part of Israel's policy to downplay vulnerabilities. So the latest situation is Iran has severely damaged strategic facilities. Iran's response seems to be, in their words, an eye for an eye, as Israel had earlier hit their refinery, but this time the Iranian strike caused much more irreversible damage. Let me clarify, this is not just news, but also my analysis. If you sense a bias that doesn't align with your perspective, forgive me. Everyone has the right to an opinion, but where news is concerned, I promise honesty, no matter the consequences. God is watching, and we should keep that in mind. I recently conducted a small informal survey among friends, not just hawks but also doves. I asked if they were following the situation. More than 80% said they hate war. Wherever it happens, they pray for peace. But there's a strange emotional conflict. When the cries are coming from Haifa, people remember Gaza and realize there's only a difference in spelling. Both places are filled with innocent lives, children, mothers, and the elderly. When they scream in pain, that humanity should be considered, but it wasn't. This is nature's way of enforcing justice, not revenge, but balance. One of the most insightful books is Asbaq-i-Tariq, or Lessons of History by Maulana Wahiduddin Khan. A key lesson Israel should have learned is that 2025 is not 1967 or 1973. Back then, things were different, but many leaders, including Netanyahu, seem to be living in the past, just like some of our politicians stuck in the 1980s. Today's world is different. Missile technology is everywhere. Iron Dome is proving vulnerable. Hypersonic missiles are penetrating it. Iran has a reputation. It does not provoke, but when provoked, it does not back down. This is not a war against Arab states like in the past. Iran is different. And serious students of geopolitics should not see this simply as a war. As I said before, it won't change the map. Iran won't occupy Israel, nor will Israel erase Iran. But the crucial factor which the common man might miss is the unease in the United States. Netanyahu couldn't punish Iran effectively, but he has dragged America into this conflict like a crocodile pulling prey into the water. Trump tried to avoid it, knowing times have changed. There are concerns that if an American citizen is harmed in Israel, the United States could be forced to respond. Media pressure, deep state interests, and public outrage could push the United States into involvement, even if unwillingly. That's the catch-22 situation. Meanwhile, countries like Russia and China are watching. If the United States engages here, their attention will divert from Ukraine, which Russia has sustained for over 3 years now, and even captured territory. Putin's goal is to exploit this distraction. So the question is, will the United States be dragged into another war in the Middle East? I believe viewers are starting to take interest in such complex issues, and they should. The future of the world depends on these developments. Wherever America's air bases are, I feel they will be hit. That's bound to happen. The only thing America will have is its external strength, its naval muscle. There will be nothing else left. And this is the dangerous path towards which Russia and China will drag them, telling them, come on then, show us your mighty navy, the one that's so terrifying, and your aircraft carriers, oh, what marvelous machines. But China has a very dangerous hypersonic missile that is far more advanced than anything else. Calling it just a hypersonic missile is an oversimplification. It's specifically designed to target aircraft carriers. If Iran can afford the price, it can purchase it from the open market. Everything is available. Now, the routine missiles that Iran has, the hypersonic ones, they can even penetrate American air bases' defense systems, which are supposedly like the Iron Dome. Ballistic missiles may not, but hypersonics will, because they tear through even S-400s. They just push past the S-400 and go straight ahead. So this series of events won't stop here. If it begins, it will go far. The real question now is war. War is a very expensive affair, extremely costly. And what flows most abundantly like water in war is capital. Where will America get the capital from? We in Pakistan, not just the public, but our politicians, our rulers, even our establishment, still think America is America. Sometimes I feel that if some people from the Roman Empire were still alive today, they'd still believe that the Roman Empire is unbeatable, that it has everything. Some people still believe America is invincible. But ladies and gentlemen, economically, America is severely crippled, facing endless problems. They don't even have enough money to run the country. And ironically, in such times, big men, big companies, big capitalists take out loans. They borrow saying, this time will pass. Bail us out now, we'll see later. But even those bonds have become so exposed that no one is investing long-term anymore. Some may invest for 2 to 3 years. Small countries might put in 100 million, but 15, 20, 25-year investments, not happening. Not even by close allies. Because everyone knows your economic weaknesses are fully exposed, and soon your military weaknesses will be exposed too. The day something big happens to you in the Indian Ocean or the Gulf, the little remaining prestige will vanish too. So after saying all this, let's come to something constructive. Instead of just mocking America, because the more troubled it is, the more tempting it becomes to mock, let me just add a small note. America's bombing, you know how it works. Bomb a small corner of Yemen where the Houthis live, but the Houthis are still there. They bombed again just yesterday. What has the American or NATO bombardment achieved? Iran is a country of 90 million, with mountains, valleys, rivers and bunkers. How much will you bomb it? How much will you suppress the Iranians? It's not going to work like that. Now let's talk about the positive side, the side of peace. When you initially spoke to Iran for peace with arrogance, they refused. And around that time you may have read the Chinese foreign minister's statement. China stands with Iran every step of the way because what's being taken from Iran is its natural right. Iran is just sitting in its house. What's your problem? And this so-called preemptive strike, that's always considered bullying. Only a bully says, do what you want. Soon we'll talk about other such preemptive strike plans being considered elsewhere. But for now, our focus should remain on Iran and Israel. So what's the way out? As I keep saying, by God, there's no joy in any of this. The fact that 2 F-35s were shot down, that has never happened in the history of mankind. Never. Even if they had F-22s, those would have been down too. The way the Iron Dome has been exposed. The real problem for you is, only one country can broker peace now, and you don't like it. NATO won't like it either. Because out of NATO's 70,000 problems, one is ego. Massive ego. I'm not being racist, I'm talking about NATO. They can't be seen negotiating under a power like Russia, a country that used to be the Soviet Union. It's unacceptable to them, but like it or not, you'll have to say to Russia, please mediate peace. Because if Iran isn't listening to America, it certainly won't listen to Seagull. It will listen to Russia and China together. When they request, only then will things improve. Tomorrow, I'll pay tribute to Pakistan. That not only supported Iran, but did so boldly and fearlessly. There was no other option. We should never think about staying silent. If we had stayed silent, it would have been the worst betrayal. Our Foreign Office, sometimes it really makes us proud, took up this matter well. The Chinese Foreign Minister's statement is full of wisdom. You attacked someone who said nothing to you, now deal with the consequences. Pakistan has handled this well. One troubling matter is that a female legislator in the United States, possibly from Minnesota, was attacked and her husband murdered. Likely political reasons, no other reason seems plausible. Melissa Hortman, I believe her name is. 2 senators were also injured in shootings. These are the kinds of incidents developing in recent days. The entire United States is protesting. Their protests now eclipse PTIs in Pakistan. These are intense and spreading, and this is just the beginning. As the American saying goes, you ain't seen nothing yet. Now, in all of this, look at what Bernie Sanders said. A brilliant man, wise and senior. He's been an independent for decades, loosely associated with Democrats. He gave a very logical suggestion, but unfortunately the one who should act on it is in a catch-22. He has no authority, he can't act. This is destiny. It's written. Bernie said, use your common sense. Israel is dragging you into war. Remember, Bernie himself is Jewish. He said, you're being dragged into this while your own country is in crisis. Avoid it, or you'll regret it deeply. Let's take some questions and then conclude. First question, where is Team Karbahar? Now, I know the discussion is quite serious these days, and well, people are definitely asking about Team Karbahar, but yes, they're still around. Some members, unfortunately, didn't arrive from Pakistan, one of them due to visa issues. Dr. Ruba is away for Eid at the moment, but she'll rejoin soon. And just so you know, we'll likely do the next vlog on Thursday or Friday. Question, how are hypersonic missiles different from others? Well, they're much, much faster. Hypersonic actually means several times the speed of sound. Mach 5, for example, is 5 times faster than sound. Russia, interestingly, has missiles that can travel at Mach 17. That technological gap, though, is now closed. In fact, China and Russia have actually surpassed NATO in this area. Another question, why is viewership down? It's okay. Honestly, don't worry, viewership will come back. Even if it's 60 to 70,000 now, it's, more valuable to me because of the serious conversation. Compared to when we had 600,000 views during the comedy shows, this will grow again. The current censorship, this so-called firewall, it won't last forever. Next question. What about Iran's traitors? They've been caught. Some 70 to 200 people suspected of helping with the internal attack. Like Ukraine's Operation Spiderweb, this was likely planned internally. Doors are opened from the inside. Iran got off lightly, considering how dangerous the plot was. Does Iran have the power to counter Israel? Of course. You haven't seen anything yet. People who doubt Iran are the same who still believe in the Roman Empire's might. Even small groups like the Houthis have pushed back, and Iran is a major power. Why isn't Pakistan helping Iran more? There's disinformation being spread by Israeli and Indian agencies that Pakistan said any attack on Iran is an attack on us. Pakistan never said this. Countries don't work like that. Pakistan is supporting Iran in every possible way, morally, diplomatically. There was even a spy network caught. Indian-run non-state actors involved. Pakistan is doing what it can, appropriately and responsibly. Final question. What role are Russia and China playing? I've explained it in detail. They are in celebration mode, counting down like it's New Year's Eve in Times Square. They're just clapping their hands, so to speak. It's like they're watching a countdown. Like that big New Year's Eve countdown in New York, where the crowd counts down the seconds until midnight. That's the kind of mood they're in. Celebrating, watching the ever-growing pile of problems for that unfortunate American president, who's already knee-deep in crisis and now seems to be sinking even deeper. So yes, Russia and China are relaxed. They're having a party, metaphorically speaking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we conclude today's discussion. God willing, we will be back with you tomorrow for another live transmission, provided life permits. That wraps up our translation of Aftab Iqbal's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.